So here's a comment from someone who says here, what are your orders when it comes to avoiding civilian deaths? The world currently thinks Jews are bloodthirsty. When our army carefully trains its soldiers to avoid casualties better than all other armies throughout history, also the ethnic groups represented at their base. So this person wants to know one. So the first part is, what are your orders when it comes to avoiding civilian deaths? And then this person is saying, it appears the world sees Jews currently as bloodthirsty, and they're asking if you have soldiers who are trained to avoid civilian casualties, what are you doing to avoid those things?
So it's basically the same question, kind of, but in
Mhm.
different words. So I can tell you that, first of all the soldiers are trying to prevent casualties, all of them. I don't know what you see in the news and stuff like that. I can tell you that in the ethnic of IDF, we have literally orders of saying to do not kill do not kill innocent people. And how we prevent it? What are the orders? So let's say that it's called an arrest. I forgot, I don't know how to say it in English, but eventually the action is that you first of all, like, let's say, for example, that, I don't know, you come to me and I don't recognize your face and you're coming from an hostile territory.
Mhm.
First of all, I would try to understand who you are by talking to you, even if it's in Arabic, English, whatever, to prevent, because eventually I can shout in Hebrew, but the other person won't understand. That's why we do shout it in Arabic. And sometimes when we know that there are probably some, I don't know, foreigners, like in the West Bank, in Ramallah, for example, there are a lot of foreigners live there and do not speak the language, like the local language. So we do shout it in English as well, just to prevent, just so that we make sure that they understand that they are like in a danger spot, that they are like going in a place that they cannot be. After we shouting it like 2 or 3 times to make sure that they heard what we're saying, eventually we have also eye contact most of the time. I'm speaking about like meters away, not someone that is like 20 or 40 meters away and he's coming like to approach us. We're not shouting, we just wait to see what his actions. I'm speaking like meters away. After that, what's going on usually, if he's not complying and he's keep going, we will do a shot in the air, just to clarify that, it can be also death. I'm going to the like worst case scenario. Yeah. And eventually when people waving to you and like doing stuff, you're going to look at them and stop for a second. It's not like I'm taking the worst case scenario so people will understand what is the procedure that we're doing to prevent those kind of stuff. And I will tell you a little story of myself. And then, if they keep coming and they're trying to threat you, you will first of all go back again to try to eliminate the thing that you have to shoot. And after that, if he's like, I don't know, running to you and aiming, so you have to do what you have to do. But you have a lot of steps before you are going into this part. And I can tell you from a personal story, I've been part of Protective Edge. And when I was out there, I remember because let's say I had a lack of sleep those nights after that, and a year after, unfortunately. I remember this grandma wearing white, like all of her, she was white completely. And she came with a white flag, in terms like she came through us. We were in Gaza and she came to us and she went with white flag. We shouted on her to stop, don't keep going. And eventually when she stopped and she came with the white flag, we told her to like kind of like open it's not a jacket, it was like a white, I don't know how to say it in English, like not a coat, but kind of a wearable thing. And when she opened it, we literally saw a string of C4 all over her body. So it's really hard, when you see an old lady with this, and then you try to really like stop innocent, stop from like shooting by mistake innocents or minor the casualties, and you see something like that, it's like kind of like, taking the breath off of your, like, lungs. You're like, you're really capable of doing this kind of thing, and we still, with that, stopped her. We had like people that are specialized in like defusing bombs, went to her, defused the bombs, and we took her to us to like understand why, like what did she do, and she said that they made her do it. You know what I mean? That's the kind of things, and people probably gonna say, no, he's imagining it, or he's probably doing it for the podcast. But guys, this is a real story, and it took a really long time for me to get over it, to see someone that she's at the same age as my grandma going with C4 because they made her do it. That's the thing that the people do not understand about how unhuman this organization is. So eventually, in terms of like, trying to minor the casualties on one-on-one, I'm saying like that's what we spoke as a soldier. We do have those procedures until we are getting to a way that you don't have something.
You run out of options.
You're running out of options. Yeah, you don't want to engage this old lady bombing on you because you've been a human being. So exactly. You have to make the difference and put the line out there that if they cross it, you don't have they didn't let you have another option.